Hello and welcome to this edition of Riskex News Review. We've got a seasonal safety reminder for you with a powerful message from the RNLI. We're also talking about the risks of nuclear medicine, where radioactive substances are used, and how they can have a more widespread effect than you might realise. But first, we look at the safety concerns about the new direct flight to Australia, recently launched by Qantas. You may have seen in the news that Qantas are the first airline to operate a non-stop direct flight to Perth, which is the world's longest long-haul flight lasting 17 hours. There are 10 cabin crew on board the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, with an average of 19 hours of duty on the Perth route. The UK's Unite Union has raised concerns over the rest time that the crew are being allowed before embarking on their return trip. The concerns have been raised with Qantas that the cabin crew, who are all UK-based, can only expect to receive an average rest of 25 hours in their hotel before commencing their duty on the flight home. According to Unite, Qantas's cabin crew UK base manager Danielle Morgan has sought to dismiss concerns over fatigue as members of cabin crew taking time to transition into new flying. Commenting, Unite Regional Officer Lindsay Oliver said, "While the future of flying is likely to centre on ultra-long-haul operations, Qantas has a responsibility to ensure that the safety and well-being of its passengers and cabin crew continues to be of paramount importance." She pointed out that profits cannot come before safety, and that encouraging a just safety culture is vital to ensure crews can discuss safety, fatigue and well-being without fear of judgment or reprisals. Unite is calling for Qantas to implement more sensible rostering practices by stopping its current trip-length trial in favour of a 5 to 6 day trip pattern. With the recent warm weather and the temptation to head to the beach, the RNLI offer a timely reminder by launching this year's safety awareness campaign, Respect the Water. The key message in this year's campaign is Float to Live. Falling into cold water causes an instinctive but potentially fatal reaction to gasp uncontrollably and swim faster, which can quickly lead to drowning. Analysis of accident data in 2016 showed that 33 people lost their lives off the southwest coast of England, with 24% of those being people who didn't even intend to enter the water. Apparently, the shock of the cold water increases the chance of water entering your lungs by gasping for breath, increases the strain on your heart, cools your skin further, and helps air escape from any clothing, which then reduces buoyancy. Although it's counterintuitive, the best course of action is to fight your instinct and try to float or rest, just for a short time. The effects of cold water shock pass quite quickly, within 60 to 90 seconds. Floating for this short time will let you regain control of your breathing, and your survival chances will greatly increase. The main principle is to lean back and float, keeping your airway clear, and do as little as possible until you have control of your breathing. At this point, you have a much better chance of avoiding drowning and surviving until you can swim to safety, call for help, or continuing to float until help arrives. If you see someone in trouble at the coast, fight your instinct to go into the water to rescue them yourself. Call 999 or 112 and ask for the Coast Guard. This is serious life-saving advice that needs to be shared, so you can visit the RNLI website for more advice and videos. For your safety by the sea, learn and share. It could save lives. The International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, recently held its first meeting to discuss the implications of unintended or accidental exposure to radioactive material during nuclear medicine procedures. There are over 30 million nuclear medicine procedures performed each year. In these, a patient is given a radioactive tracer orally or by intravenous injection for diagnosis, staging of disease, therapy or monitoring. This means a new procedure is starting every second somewhere in the world. The role of the IAEA is to ensure that, on balance, the benefits outweigh the risks associated with the use of radioactive substances, and this is crucial given the increasing use of radioactive procedures over recent years. The 3-day meeting was organised to provide a forum for users to share experience, learn from past incidents and prepare guidelines on how to avoid accidents in the future. It's been found that incidents, including near misses, happen more frequently than accidents, and by analysing what happened, it's possible to improve safety in this relatively new field. Incidents can occur during the preparation of radiopharmaceuticals, during the management of radioactive materials, and during the procedure on the patient. Importantly, it's not only patients that are affected by these incidents, but also the people they are in contact with. For example, if a patient leaves the hospital too soon after a therapeutic nuclear medicine procedure, they may expose others during their journey or at home. Also, medical staff working with radiopharmaceuticals also need to be protected. While the exposure from a syringe filled with radiopharmaceuticals is relatively small, for professionals handling thousands of these a year, the exposure can add up. During the meeting, the importance of strengthening the safety culture in nuclear medicine was highlighted. Colin Martin, a medical physicist from the UK and the chair of the meeting, said, "Developing a safety culture is important to prevent incidents and accidents from happening. We need to address unsafe conditions by increasing awareness and alertness, develop comprehensive operating procedures, training and understanding, and clearly defining responsibilities." That's certainly a reassuring statement, and it fully echoes everything that we are passionate about at Riskex. And finally, if you don't have a head for heights, you might want to look away now. The staggering risks being taken in this next video highlight the need for a safety culture to be encouraged throughout the world, and we sincerely hope that ISO 45001 will help to achieve this. Are you ready? Here it comes. That's all for this edition of Riskex News Review. We hope it's given you food for thought, and I encourage you to visit the RNLI website and share their information via your own social media links. The more the message is passed on, the more lives can be saved. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.